to kick off the series, and I could not be more excited to see how this one plays out. Apeks starting on that CT side. This will be VERTEX's map choice. And let's see how it all plays out here in CS2 for the first official best of 3 of an IEM. 1x bet odds are heavily favouring Apeks, understandably. And Nito, of course, kicking off the festivities. Julie's reigning supreme, and the USPs hitting them from afar.
Yeah, it's pretty quick already. PZ does go down fairly quickly, but Jacob here gets punished on that peak. So he has to back off. VERTEX now have that 3, but they're soft locked into A at the moment. They need Brace to be able to find them an opening as well. But as we said, Apeks, one of those players that can really turn around on their head.
Guess we'll see what they opt to do here. Just cutting sound, slowing it down, and expecting to punish anyone getting too big for their boots. That could be Sense. But, oh, has he spotted him? Malta will see Sense pushing forward. Isolated here, but won't take the fight. The bomb's starting to make its way back towards a main. 2 players still here. Nito, Hickson, and Brace hoping to find that shot. Jacob, surely he doesn't get another here. 7 points of health and he hasn't been touched.
Oh, no. Oh, no. You can't get away with this. But Apeks, I mean, he's got quite a task ahead of him. He's done a lot of damage, but there is a chance here. Nork goes down. That could be troublesome, though. 15 seconds left. I feel as though he is trying his best, but very patient from Apeks there. Well played in the end, and those opening picks really did dissipate VERTEX's chances.
Look at that one again. Crispy on the pistols, and Apeks are going to be extremely happy with the CT pistol in the bag nice and early. VERTEX not getting that bomb plant means the buy will not be super optimal going into that second round. And they're not going to buy it all, just saving it up, looking for a third round investment. What can they do to try and avoid the SMGs? I feel like that's the big thing here. Try and avoid Apeks from making too much money. Hazard, whoa. Look at that.
Spin that.
Spin to win.
Spin that, boy.
Reminds me of my Premier games.
That's it. Spinning is winning, right?
Yes, sir.
Malta does a little bit of damage, but ultimately pays the price. If they can swindle a bomb plant here, VERTEX will be very happy, very smug with themselves, but Apeks, look at that line of CTs. It's a very high line. Getting a little bit more aggressive through mid and have some trouble.
Hickson, Jacob, just farming him up, knocking him down. No casualties. Exactly where you want to be. Of course, Mitha, extremely happy with that as well. A couple of chair slaps, a couple of low fives. Wouldn't call it a high five. Physically quite hard from that angle to, you know, accomplish the high five.
You don't want to be too over the top, though. Not early on here.
Yeah. Well, VERTEX, into the gun round we go. With 2 kills there. 1x bet impact player for the round, Nito. Going hard. Now, over towards mid, VERTEX looking for that mid control boost up. Molly's here. Apeks, they want to fight it.
Oh, yeah. They're going to back off, though. Neither team drawing out ahead there. However, a little bit lighter in terms of the utility purse for VERTEX. Now going to eventually regress, but Hazard does get the trade through. And that's actually a nice opener. They've given themselves a little bit of breathing space here. Are Apeks going to be very asphyxiating in their approach? They're not going to continue to push through mid. You have to be a little bit more reserved.
Let's see if there's any value to find out of the MP9s. If Nork can get that big green going. So far, no action. What have we got here?
Mid-connector smoke.
Feigning the split, potentially.
Oh, this push gets a lot of info. And it looks as though the rotation's coming through from Apeks. They should be able to get themselves into this site here, VERTEX, but they choose a little bit of time as Addict looks to be the splinter cell.
Yeah, it's that save call already from Apeks. You can see them not even going anywhere near market. There's As you mentioned, Apeks looking to deny the save. Nork, the man dedicated to surviving, is going to have a rough time doing that. Apeks still just slowly searching for him, looking for the info. And, oh, baits out the shot. Perfect timing on the peak. And VERTEX are on the board.
That's a much needed round for them as well. Just sets the CT economy back a foot. But now we have it. The Ace of Predator economy. Doesn't look as though we're going to see too much utility coming out of Apeks here with this buy.
I think Nork even just went down to that Deagle, dropped someone else. Oh no, he was on the double eco. He had no money from that AWP buy, so gone.
Big info play coming through from Apeks as well. And this round's now on a timer, I feel. Look at this angry mob, a ball of CTs in mid. The pack of information. Just going to be waiting here at A for VERTEX, and they're taking their sweet time. They've got the info play. I mean, there's a chance here for this late lurk from Apeks to be problematic.
The thing is, they're going to send Hazard in, and if he goes down, then they might just run the other direction. He's going to sniff this one out. Bit of noise being made by Sense now. They don't send Hazard in.
Yeah, they're just testing the waters. And, oh, Apeks again, he's been so patient in this position. This is exactly the kind of bounty he was after. A bit of space to move across the map now, VERTEX.
I love the spacing. They need to have their guns out and ready to trade, and it just wasn't good enough that time. PZ comes through eventually, but Jacob could have saved the day. No one on that B side of the map for Apeks, though, which can be a bit of a problem at the moment.
Yeah, with VERTEX also taking a bit more time than usual to get into this site. It allows a window of opportunity here. Sense on the site. Is he going to try and deny the plant? Yes, he removes one. Oh, brilliant from him. And can he finish the deal?
Won't need to. Kicks in. Coming in on short just in the nick of time. And that is going to be the 3-1 scoreline. So VERTEX, after winning the gun round with a few casualties, they're not going to have a great economy moving into the next. But we might see a mixed bag. Depends on what they want to do. Could just go for, you know, Mac 10s, Tech 9s, armor. Yeah, let's focus on the future instead. But there he is, Sense. The big man for Apeks in their best of one earlier. Unfortunately, couldn't get him the win. And Nork given another opportunity to get the AWP out.
Yeah, doesn't have an impact just yet, but information denial is the name of the game here for VERTEX. Apeks aren't interested in mid though this time, and it's going to be a little bit faster heading into this site. Oh, that crushing grenade.
VERTEX cannot find any space on site at all. Just forced back. Molly splitting up the troops a little bit too far. PZ had the only rifle. He's gone. Brace snags one off the ground, tries to recycle. But Nito just tearing him to bits.
That was very disappointing for VERTEX.
Yeah.
Of course, just playing the back of some utility there. That feel as though that grenade booked their entry pathing into the site perfectly. It all became quickly unhinged.
Really staggered him out. Jacob just playing that short side of window. Kicks and feeling confident to pretty much solo that A site. Nito floating around Con. Jacob's got that full mid control, uncontested. VERTEX just deciding where they want to go here. Looks like mid, late is going to be the answer. Malta unders without anyone early at top mid means we're able to swing him and farm them all.
Oh, just ragdolled. Farmed out. Peasy.
He's got timing.
Yeah, no bomb though.
He had timing.
Won't be able to do any damage with that P250 either. So, Apeks keep around in their pocket very cleanly too. And so, I don't know, I feel like CT rounds like that are gold particularly in this economy, as we've seen quite a few times before. Teams struggling with that city economy, particularly with the shortened format. Safe to say Apeks now 5-1, whittling away lost bonus down to the bottom.
Yeah.
They've still got relatively healthy money. That being said, though, there is a window of opportunity here for VERTEX if they're able to put themselves in position to win at least 2 rounds in a row. Easy on the SIG. Give him a different scope. Having the impact that he needs on that T side. This is a bit faster now from VERTEX. They send Addict. Double interconnector and Hazard. Oh. They don't get anything out of that. They're cleaned up. So VERTEX are just running into mid and they are melting.
All the way towards the bottom of mid. And Apeks, they just let that util come from VERTEX. Let the players come as well. And tear them to pieces once more. Seems to be a recurring trend. And VERTEX, even though they're changing that pace, changing the momentum, the calling, just is unable to find a hole. Apeks ready on Mirage.
Sometimes changes of pace coming out of tack pauses as well can catch a team off guard, but I mean, I felt as though Apeks were ready for that. Even the double connector push from VERTEX was pretty well booked by one player. They didn't even have a supporting crossfire coming through. However, it's just braced now. And even economic damage isn't really on the cards. The shadow kind of gives him away.
And tease in the chat. Brace, unfortunately, flying to his death. But for all the Apeks fans out there, they are feeling very secure right now with this lead, 6-1.
See, the problem with this play is that I feel it lacked just one more piece of utility. If there had been a flash in there or something like that.
The thing, even if you flash con, like that's not blinding where he is, you know? So
doesn't matter, it removes a crossfire.
True.
Definitely didn't feel as though it was all there for VERTEX. And they revert back to this slower pace. Some Mac 10s and Deagles. There's a key piece. Maybe this is what this round holds. Not full commitment to this A site.
Are they going to hear one another? You got PZ, who
no.
might have heard Nito just making his way through top mid. How's the timing? I think PZ just barely gets away, but Nito, he's spotted that, he's called it, and he's telling all of Apeks to slow it down. Even though site control's there, those smokes are about to fade.
Yep.
And things get real dangerous for VERTEX. Coming in, the CT control is gone. Sense just mops them on up. Addict able to find one more, but it's just not enough for a round. And they need those rounds ASAP, Jim.
Yeah, the problem for them there was they left the bomb in spawn. And, well, Apeks gave them free reign of the A-bomb site. And so, I think VERTEX were a little bit surprised that they were so easily able to enter. But then reality quickly set in as PZ had to double back and collect that bomb. That's an unfortunate occurrence, but this is the kind of mistakes we're seeing out of teams that just lack a little bit of experiences.
They're learning from those mistakes. They left the bomb for a second, Addict picked it up and passed it off straight away to Malta.
It's a steep learning curve though, man.
Yeah.
They're out of the competition here if they lose this best of 3.
What do we got? Looks like pressure on both sides. A bit of a default without that mid control, and they're going to see if they can find some space at B this time. Testing the other side of the map. Nice shot. Addict falls. In the meanwhile, Sense is here until he's not. We got that 3v3 scenario now. Kicks it using the cover of the smoke there just on the site. Hazard trying to go across the top of Van and hope for a timing, but he's been seen, dealt with, and PZ now between a rock and a hard place. And he didn't get a chance to see an enemy that round.
No. This is a very slippery slope now for VERTEX. Down 8-1. So they really need to get their ducks in a row. And quickly. But Apeks have come into this.
Oh, yeah. Hoorah!
Guns are blazing. Just this early round execution style. Apeks are loving the fact that they have free reign to take territory. It's getting them a lot of information. Problem for VERTEX is some of these executions aren't having the desired effect. They're not committing utility out of Apeks.
Missing something here or there in the recipe. We'll see if the right side smokes with a couple of bangers. Will get the space they need to. It's just Kixon on site who will be isolated from those mid members. And can he deal with the Tech 9s? These things with the running accuracy right now can be crazy. In comes the movement, in comes the push. Kixon spotted. And he's cut the site in half, but he's got too many Ts to deal with. Won't be able to isolate them. And Nork can't find them through the smoke. This time, they've got the bomb, but they don't have CT yet. Someone's got to swing it, waiting for that flash. Brace puts the boys in just in time, but Sensor's here as well. Apeks, they've brought more numbers. They've brought bigger knives to the gunfight.
Yep. And, Addict, though, looking for more. And you're right, the bigger guns do the bigger damage. Always maintaining that CT ramp control, Apeks. And so for VERTEX, well, I mean, what's the drawing board going to give them here? They've really only been playing that execution style on A. Haven't had success taking mid. They've been shut down in B halls. Now, they have used 2 of their 3 tactical timeouts. I'll always give them praise for this because they do. They actually do utilize their tactical timeouts.
Yeah.
In every competition. But
it's good to see that.
The problem is for them, they have to find a formula for success. Because so far there has been none.
Figure out a formula at all. They've only got potentially 1 day to do it. If not, well, it'll be too late to stay in IEM Sydney, but at least they can enjoy Sydney and the surrounds until the arena days. But for the moment, seeing the sights of mid on Mirage.
Yeah, this is Apeks loving the fact that they're confident in the fights here. As soon as VERTEX show presence in mid, you can see Apeks, they're there, they're ready for the duel. But if there's no further commitment, they can set their eyes firmly back on the sights, executing to A here, but this is disrupted.
How good was that flash from Nork? Perfectly timed. Kixon able to capitalize off the back of it and keep on locking it down here. Goes up onto the balcony. Those flames just aren't quite burning them enough. And VERTEX, they're trying to lock him down, but he's so slippery. Going up and down that ladder. Found eventually with that spray through the plywood from Malta. But they need to get rid of everyone, and Nork finally falls, but now it's that 2v1, and look who they're up against, Jim. It's Sense in this 1v2. His conversion rate has been pretty good. His aim, stellar. But they're just trying to figure out where he is right now. Overwatch from that PAL position. And Sense, isolates the first one. Ready for the swing, but Malta wins this one. And there you have it. VERTEX finally doubling up those rounds. 9-3 at best. Is that going to be enough, Jim?
Yeah, look, it's hard to say. If they can actually put another round here, a bookend on the half, if you will, I think they stand a better chance. Maybe even take, some of that momentum back.
Yeah.
Wrestle it away from Apeks, but Sense made it very tense for them.
Oh, pace change again. Apeks ready. Kixon was dodging those flashes. Oh, will he be able to find one? That's huge damage. Nito's there to try and mop it up. Kixon still living on 31 points of health, and this has gone horribly wrong for VERTEX in the final round of the half.
Yeah, and this is huge commitment here. Now, Brace has a lot of map to cut.
But look where the bob is.
And try and work this out. This is a very untenable situation for VERTEX. But again, change of pace. Doesn't work. Nor did you even stop.
No. There you have it. Oops, seemed to work a little better on Len. And PZ going to try his hand at it too. Finding the double. 2 more in this 1v4 to get across the line. And Kixon is just waiting, denying that exit at A main. 1 bullet should do it for sure. And there's 3 in the clip here. Oh, sharp shooting. But just barely to the side. The nade will bowl us over into the half. 10-2. Apeks lead by 8 and only need 3 to close us out in the second.
Workshop waiting room. As we patiently wait for community maps, let's give you a little sneak preview of what's to come. Let's take a look at a really beautiful map called DE_Memento, a wingman map based in Lake Como, Italy. Set around a wedding ceremony, this one looks like it could be a good marriage of gameplay and gorgeous mapping. While the T's will be attempting to crash this wedding, the mappers say they are trying to keep surfaces clean to make gunfights as fair as possible, putting a focus on visibility. They emphasized on having a good balance of long, medium and close quarters combat, following a wingman standard of having 2.5 choke points. Most angles and pathways are organic, to help the flow, which also ties into the feel of being in an Italian town. Let's look at a map some of you might recognize, and that's DE_Mutiny. First added CSGO in July 2020. Caribbean-themed pirate-styled map remembered by many as having one of the most unique T-spawns to date, on a pirate ship. This map is where the T's are seeking out treasure, which can be seen on both bomb sites in these chests of gold. When asked for a comment, the mappers have said that the water has been their biggest improvement, allowing them to make more surfaces appear wet, and with the new tools they were able to double the resolution of every material. Internet providers across the world rejoice. Now for a location which we typically don't see much of in CS maps, and that's Tokyo. DE Akiba is the name, and while I can't find Akiba on a map, I do believe it's based in Akihabara, known as the Electric Town in Tokyo. The map fits the bill, including a tech expo and many different stores dotted around this mini-city mall setting. This map was originally developed in CSGO, but the tool Source 2 offers has allowed the mappers to create something special, utilizing new reflection shader improvements, which are very noticeable on metallic surfaces.
Oh, got a big old second half to finish off here, and it might not be a long one. Of course, 10-2 at the half means Apeks only need 3 to close things out. And VERTEX, they have a giant hill to climb. Some would even call it a mountain gym.
Well, yes. And how do you climb a mountain?
You scale.
You scale.
And you do it one step at a time.
One step at a time, which is something you can't do at the moment, Mac, unfortunately.
Ha.
However, is 2 rounds enough rope to scale that mountain?
It's a solid question. I'm not a mountaineer myself, but we'll see if mountaineering is Vertex's forte. Moving into the A site is not going to be too easy. Addict able to stand and deliver now. Let's see if the CT side will be a bit nicer to them. So far, so good, until Kickson and Nork are going to be showing how good the damn Glock is here in CS2. Hazard holding in. Wait for that swing, but Sense again gets that jungle control.
Yeah, pressure immediately. And now it's all on the retake. They're not even shying away from a fight. And VERTEX, their chances have all but disappeared. At least for this round. So Apeks will be very happy with that.
And that mountain gets a little bit steeper.
Yeah.
We're going rock climbing, Jim.
I think the only bright spot there was the headshot onto Jacob. He jumped up that A ramp.
Ooh. Well, Apeks taking it seriously, not getting too far ahead of themselves just yet. Of course, the general gist of things I've seen so far here at IEM Sydney 2023
That's a wild bink, man.
In the second round as a CT, unless for some reason you feel like you are just the better team, that force buy just ain't it. You're waiting for the third round.
Yeah. I feel as though, particularly against, you know, some of those MAC 10s, like the SMGs, trying to fight the players that are just swinging harder than you, and you're trying to hold a line with a pistol, it just doesn't work.
I really want to ask some players at the end of the day, you know, how that peak of advantage is feeling, and how these pistols are going. Not looking super great considering VERTEX bring 5 to the party. Some headshots found, but Addict, too much to do. They at least took 2 out. 2 less rifles for Apeks into the third of the half, but 12 on the board, Jim, means they're on map point, and we could be going real quick into Anubis.
Yeah, that's the problem with not giving yourself enough rope to climb a mountain, is that, well, eventually you're going to run into some difficulties. So 12 to 2.
Could roll your ankle.
You could roll your ankle.
Could do many things. You
don't
can also
want to be
make it
ankle
completely uninjured. But we'll see. Ooh, that smoke. I don't know if that's the intended one or if it's supposed to be the drippy smoke, the cascading smoke. But so far, so good for the rifles for VERTEX. 2 picks at mid. We'll see if they can convert with the man advantage. Jacob damn low as well. Nork on the spray, but the rifle lane is forte. He's usually that AWP. Jacob now has to try to clutch in the 1v3, and 1 bullet will send him into the next round.
Some of these dry CT peaks have been working really well for VERTEX in this round.
Yeah.
I think Apeks, trying to change the pace a little, has actually worked against them. VERTEX were very much ready for that with what they could afford. So it's a premium now for VERTEX to try and keep 3 of these rifles alive. Jacob, well, with only 10 points of health, he doesn't have a lot of opportunity to make something happen for himself. I think he's just going to try and punish any VERTEX mistakes here.
That lighting's inaccurate. That whole square should be light. I just want everyone to know that. Put it on Reddit. Unplayable game. Valve, please fix.
Now trending. Jacob doesn't have any opportunities here, as we said. Just looking to see if he can punish VERTEX. But for VERTEX, that objective of keeping rifles up, trying to build some economy, and doing things the hard way. For now, that storyline stays alive.
Great patience from VERTEX just to sit back, not get too overzealous, but of course there is going to be an AK with armor to play around, so Apeks has that as a hero-esque buy, so to speak. You're looking at the rest of the money. I don't think they'll invest, but there certainly is a world where they will. And even if they start to invest, they can sell it back. Unless you drop it, then you can't sell it. Someone told me the other day I could, and I had to test it again. And I was like, no, you can't. Misinformation going everywhere between everyone, even the pros right now, man.
Are you suggesting that you've been hoodwinked by a pro?
Yes.
All right.
That's okay.
Bet that makes you feel
I
a little
won't
silly.
name and shame. I would never do that.
So I once told someone on this map you can actually go through the doors in Market. The ones that are painted on the wall.
Oh, right. I was like, what doors in Market? Some util going to be left there at the back of Apps. We'll see if Apeks try and go for some kind of fake. Late bust up con with what they've got. Tech 9s, of course, at close range. Very fatal at the moment in CS2. I've seen a few people picking up that CZ too, so...
Yeah, I think a lot of players trying a broad spectrum of weapons. And also, as we said, trying to, make everything viable. Due to some of the economic constraints of MR12, but
yeah,
easy. Nice clean up there. Holds on to his AUG. And spotted out Nork, so that's a nice clean round for VERTEX. The problem is now, I've got to do it against whatever buy's coming out from Apeks.
Yeah.
Wonder if they get an AWP onto Nork again.
Well, probably not this round. They're out of money. They'll be down on the El Pistolas. Losing a couple in a row means they have some round loss bonus to work with, but not a grand amount.
One thing they do have to work with, though, are rounds. They got plenty of them.
Oh, yeah. Time is of the essence. They're even going to bust through that molly.
Final tick.
They've heard that one. Malta coming back, thinking, what is going on here? Uh-oh, there goes the first rifle. Not like this. Malta making sure that that ship gets steadied real quick, but the bomb, it's stuck at firebox right now, and there's two CTs playing high-low. And forcing him into the open. Kickson still living. But going through that crawl space is a death trap. Hazard making the correct decision, and the final position is known of Nito. It was very low. And there's never a 100% chance that he's going to lose the round, right? Like, there's always a 1% chance that something goes wrong and he wins, especially when there's Australians in the game.
Look, honestly, man, I thought it was falling apart there as soon as that Glock headshot rang out.
I've just seen that so many times before.
I was about to say, how many times have you seen a team lose to full eco when they are doing things the hard way?
It's all right. It's all right for all the locals around the area.
Hearts in mouths.
VERTEX will go down with their pride intact. If Apeks take him out here with the rifles. Less util for them to play with, but they are just going to show face all across the map. Bit of mid-control found for Apeks, and a 4-1 split for VERTEX. Heavily expecting an A-hit.
Very prepared for that A-hit. However, there is plenty of room here for Apeks to work the map. PZ, obviously, peering down the barrel. And with that, a lot of information. However, there has been a rotation back. Through Market. PZ finds his first victim. Under the guise of smoke. Oh, dear me, I think Sense is about to abuse it.
Will it give him enough? Managed to edge his way forward. Nork, though, over at Con. Not find the space he was looking for. PZ falls, and that's going to be the B-split working out. Timing, damn good for Apeks. And in the 4v3, VERTEX trying to do the right thing and group up before Brace goes in. He doesn't want to fully give his life here. Oh, kicks it on the lurk, going to be tearing him apart. And it's the beginning of the end, Jim.
Yeah. I was about to say there was a real chance there that Malta could have made something happen through with that lurk. However, he's left Brace to try and work things out. Just taking his sweet time too, getting there, Malta.
Oh, look at this setup from the T's though. Triangular, just able to play off one another, swing together. But this time is ticking and they need to get a wriggle on Malta. He's got that util, he's just waiting for Brace to get the though. Spamming, trading Malta. Can he do it here? Finds one more, but
Ooh.
Sense swinging off a Van Pillar is going to be more than enough for that first map to be taken out by Apeks. 13-5, the final scoreline on map number 1 of the series. And that means Anubis is on the horizon.
Yeah, unfortunately for VERTEX, they didn't really get themselves into any kind